turn on your microphones.
Done. Ready to rock.
There we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the April 3rd, 2024 City of Fraser Regular Planning Commission meeting. Please place any cell phones or any other devices that might disrupt this meeting in silent mode or turn them off. And please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Agenda item 2 is roll call. Ms. Greenia, would you please do the roll call for this?
Commissioner Barr,
Here.
Chair Zarnecki,
Present.
Commissioner Farina,
Present.
Commissioner Kyle,
Present.
Commissioner Meyer, Commissioner Tuller,
Present.
Commissioner Warnick.
Present.
We have a quorum present. I will ask for a motion to excuse Commissioner Meyer. She is at her last session for training this evening, and hopefully we'll see her in May. So it's been moved by Commissioner Farina. Any
I'll support.
And support by Commissioner Kyle to excuse Commissioner Meyer from this evening's meeting. Would you do a roll call, please, Ms. Greenia?
Commissioner Barr,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what it was.
to excuse Commissioner Meyer from the,
Yes, absolutely.
okay. Chair Zarnecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Farina,
Yes.
Commissioner Kyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Tuller,
Yes.
Commissioner Warnick.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Greenia. Agenda item 3, approval of the agenda, April 3rd, 2024 agenda. Two things for the agenda. The agenda that was posted online had an incorrect address for the site plan in front of us this evening. So we will make a correction on the address, as well as the agendas that are placed at the table now do have the correct address on it. We apologize. And also, our planner, Lauren Sayre, is not here this evening. She had a personal matter and could not make it. And she is the one who is very diligently working on the sign ordinance discussion. So I will entertain a motion to revise the agenda with the correction of the site plan 20-01 for the correct address and to delete item number 7, unfinished business sign ordinance discussion. We will discuss it at our May
I'll
meeting.
make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Warnick and support by Commissioner Farina to make those two revisions to the agenda. Would you please do a roll call? Ms. Farina?
Commissioner Barr,
Yes,
Chair Zarnecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Farina,
Yes.
Commissioner Kyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Tuller,
Yes.
Commissioner Warnick.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 4 is the chairperson's opening remarks. Tonight's meeting will follow the agenda that was posted online and corrected this evening with our revision to the agenda and has been printed for you here and is available at the entrance of the room. It is important to let everyone know that the Planning Commission is created by state law. The commission is comprised of 7 members, all of whom have volunteered to serve. Members are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by city council. The role of the Planning Commission is to plan and promote the efficient, coordinated development of the city for the health, safety, and general welfare of its residents. We are not here to negotiate with applicants or allow everything an applicant is requesting. However, the Planning Commission does have the power to approve certain requests and recommend others, depending on the nature of the request and whether all of the standards in the zoning ordinance have been met. The Planning Commission may also impose conditions on a proposed project in order to ensure that those standards are met. Other individuals seated here this evening are the city's legal representative from O'Reilly, Rancilio PC, Alyssa Erickson, city planners from McKenna and Associate this evening is Alicia Warren, and our city clerk, Cindy Greenia. We do not have a public hearing this evening, so I will not discuss those remarks. Agenda item 5 is approval of the minutes, March 6, 2024. I will ask for any discussions on the minutes.
We're going to-
I will include that, yes. And would you like to address the motion for Big Boy, Commissioner Warnick, or I can, if you'd like?
I'd like to accept it as presented. It was just missing the facts and part of my motion. and I'm satisfied with how it was written up.
Okay, so clarification that I and our city attorney and our city planner did redraft that motion. The draft minutes did not clarify the motion to our satisfaction. Big Boy special land use was, as well as their site plan, has been a very long and convoluted application. So I asked both the assistance of our planner and our attorney to redraft it so we have all the conditions in that motion. So that is how the motion reads now. Do you want me to read that motion, or we just correct the minutes to that?
I don't think that that's necessary. I think, obviously, the record's clear that the 13 conditions are the new proposal, so to speak, for the revised minutes, so I think that that's sufficient.
Thank you.
There's 12 conditions.
12, okay.
She stands corrected. There are 12 conditions.
Scared me.
I did hand
One,
out
I know I didn't
copies.
do 13th one.
I did hand out copies to everyone this evening so they could see how we redrafted it. And as well, whoever's going to prepare the final minutes, I can give you a copy and/or send you the document itself. So,
It
May I
mirrors the
address
site
Chair
plan,
Zarnecki?
so.
I'm sorry, what?
It mirrors the site plan, so we have those conditions already.
The review that I received earlier today in an email just with some questions. I am looking currently at the draft minutes from March 6th on page 4.
Page
It says public hearing closed at 7:51. Then below there where it says motion by Wernick, supported by Kyle, this is the motion that's going to
That
go
is
in the
correct,
minutes.
yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Just want to
correct.
make sure.
Okay, that's correct. Ms.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, please.
I also noticed that on the headings of the draft minutes, it has our February meeting date rather than the March meeting.
Oh, on page, on the
It's,
second page.
It's throughout, actually.
Oh,
Throughout.
I didn't have it on the first page, but okay.
So that's probably a change. And then also to correct the spelling of the attorney for Hockeyland. His first name is Randi, last name is Hermiz.
Thank you, Ms. Erickson. I wasn't sure myself, so I appreciate that. Okay, Ms. Greenie, I'm going to give you one more, since we've had a few, and tell me when you're ready.
Just one moment, please.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, on page 3, under the public hearing, the first gentleman, Stephen Kustra, the general counsel for Motor City Rockers hockey team. Counsel should be spelled Counsel. And if you have any questions, just get a hold of me. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Any other comments on the minutes? And if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as revised.
Move, go ahead. I move to approve the minutes from the March meeting as revised.
It's been moved by Commissioner Farina and support by Commissioner Kyle to accept the draft minutes for March 6, 2024 with the revisions. Ms. Greenia, would you do a roll call, please?
Commissioner Barr,
Yes.
Chair Zarnecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Farina,
Yes.
Commissioner Kyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Tuller,
Yes.
Commissioner Warnick.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Greenia. Agenda item new business, 6, new business. A, public hearings, there are none. 6B, site plans. I, site plan number 24-01, 3400 Utica Road Foundation Solutions. It's not Utica Road. It's 3400 Klein Road Foundation Solution 360 site plan review. And Ms.
Yes,
Alicia, are you going to do the review?
yes, I will
Okay.
review this for you. Here tonight, like you said, 34400 Klein Road. This is a proposed site plan that was previously, or a similar site plan was previously approved back in 2022. However, the site plan conditions were never met, permits were never pulled, so the site plan approval has expired. The revised plans and the applicant submitted proposed to construct an additional driveway of approximately 20 feet in width off Klein Road, as well as an additional paved asphalt area located on the south side of the building. The proposed area of the new paved concrete equates to approximately 4,700 square feet. The revised site plans also address previous landscaping concerns and enclosure details for their proposed outdoor storage of gravel. The applicant is proposing to construct, I already said that, 25 feet width of an additional egress for additional parking for 4 additional spaces to the south. Let me get this moved over here. Let's see that there. Let's see here. And then the landscaping in the front was pulled, or is now gravelled. I think it might be concrete now. And to the north, they are proposing to put the landscaping in back to what it is. They do have to get a variance for a parking setback in order to approve that. They are also going to add in a dumpster enclosure and then also an additional gravel. They did get an approval for the ZBA to have outdoor storage of gravel back in 2022 as well, which they are adding an additional enclosure on this site plan that you see for more outdoor storage, which they do have to go back to ZBA, which they will be seen tomorrow at the ZBA meeting for that. And then in addition of the trees that you see there as well to repurpose the landscaping in the front. Pretty much sums up, the differences between last time and this time. If you have any specific questions, I can try to answer for you.
Thank you, Ms. Warren. Are there questions of Ms. Warren?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr.
That aerial view is not current. There was an addition of concrete all the way to the right-of-way line. Was that what was approved on ZBA before? So you just put that concrete in all the way to that
Yeah.
green line?
Yeah, I'll pull up,
It was just asphalt.
Oh, right now it's just asphalt? Oh,
try to pull up a
Commissioner Warnick, let me interrupt you because the gentlemen aren't up here yet. So
yeah,
pose your questions to our administration, and then we'll ask you to come up.
okay.
I'll try to pull up, that is not, like you said, that is what it was previously. I'm going to try to pull up a new view of it. I don't think Google was, let's see here. And I believe now it's concrete. Google may have it as gravel.
Which end are we talking about? The red square?
The
No,
landscaping.
end.
The north end? It's not concrete.
Here.
Not even all paved.
Trying to get this switched over for you.
That's a pretty bridge.
Is that an aerial view there, son?
Boy, I like
Oh,
that,
it's
I like that
beautiful,
site plan.
No, I can't, I don't know how to get it switched over, but I can show you my computer.
That's
It
the
was
Sweeney
just put
Drain,
as
right?
gravel, but right now, I can't get it switched over, but on my laptop, if you can envision.
So it is
Right now,
paved?
right now it's paved. This was what it was just gravel, but this was what it looked like prior to the gravel being put. So that is what they are wanting it to be reconstructed back.
But you're talking the approach.
Correct.
The parking lot itself goes all the way to that green line now,
Oh, yes. Where
where it wasn't
There's a-
previously. It's in the 2022 aerial, but not in the 2020 aerial.
I see, I see. Yeah, these have the gravel. Goes all the way back there. Okay. Yeah, the aerial is not updated here.
Are these current pictures that
Yeah,
you've taken?
I just did.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did these off the Macomb GIS.
Oh, okay, thank you. She looking something up for you? Are you?
No,
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 you're
I'm
done.
okay.
Okay, all right. I thought you were.
Can I ask you to, do you have a record of if Klein is a county road or is it a city road?
I can look that up right now.
Because it's usually in our master plan, but with the new master plan, I didn't see it in there. It was always in the regular master plan,
I can see if I
the
can.
type of road that it is.
Yeah, it's, I'll see if I can find that. I wanted to say.
Because then the approach would have to go through the county,
Right.
not the city.
Agree, yes, understood, right.
And they may not allow another approach.
I'm trying to remember back then what it was.
Garfield's a county.
Yes.
I don't think
I don't think it is a county road either, this one I'm.
Yeah, I want to say it's a city road. It doesn't.
Here's what they're listing, 2 years ago. And all this up to there.
Any other questions of the administration?
That-
You wanna-
I'll
That's
look
it,
that
because
up.
she'll check it out.
Yeah.
That was my only questions to
That was
the.
one question.
yeah.
Any other
I wanna
questions
say
of the
it's-
administration or
This
comments?
is in the IR districts, right?
IR district, correct. Sorry if that wasn't stated.
Isn't there fencing required, Randy?
Yeah, for outdoor storage.
Which they're proposing. They're proposing the wall and so forth
Yeah.
for the storage, correct?
Or that's for the materials, I
Right.
think.
Did anyone do a site visit?
Yes.
I did.
And did you, I did too, but it was so much, it was such a busy time. The high school was
Yeah,
being,
and everything,
loose, it
all
was
the
busy.
parking was,
but I didn't
every
see,
spot was taken, it was stacked.
it was really, yeah.
It was stacked at to the north.
Yes,
There was like multiple vehicles,
yes.
Stacked
So
up
I
that
pulled
way.
in and I pulled right back out.
but there was construction equipment outside, which is not allowed without fencing and site plan approval.
Did you see the did you see the gravel? I mean, was it contained?
No, it was concrete all the way to the green line, I think.
No, it's not.
You say it's asphalt, but it's kind of a lighter color asphalt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is all the way.
I've done that before. I made asphalt with concrete dust in it, and it looks like concrete.
Oh,
So it could be asphalt.
tires, they're
Are they up?
asphalt.
No. So none of your conversation's being heard except for us up here, so I
Oh, yeah.
apologize again.
Right.
We will have you come up and you will be answering the questions. Commissioner Farina, go ahead.
My question.
You're to the applicant? Okay. No other questions for the administration? If not, I'll ask the applicants to come forward, please. And state your name, address for the record, please.
Joe Marth, 34400 Klein Road, Foundation Solutions 360.
Dave Cadman, 34400 Klein Road.
Okay. And Mr. Marth, what is your association to the application?
I'm the president of the company.
Okay. And Mr. Cadman?
I am like supervisor for the company, and I was here before on Joe's behalf.
were here
So
before.
Now we're here together and
Okay, all right, thank
able
you.
to answer any of your questions.
Okay. Commissioner Warnick, you want to ask the questions in first?
Is there anything you want to add, though, first to the presentation? Right?
Well, what I saw in the notes was you need, on the prints, a diagram of the loading area. Is that correct? So I have to revise that with the dimensions. And also for the enclosures, those have to have diagrams of the dimensions as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't see any other notes.
Only two recommendations.
Okay. Everything else will be with the ZBA.
Okay, then, so I can go. So enclosure-wise, looks like there's already maybe one or two with the gravel and stuff.
Correct.
And is this now the new one is going for more of them, right? More bins?
Well, that was just more for like, just outdoor storage, not so much for gravel or anything like that, but we have one that we have in a gravel enclosure.
Because looking at it, I mean, you wouldn't even have room for this, the way those things are stored now, the backhoe and things that are out there right now. What I saw yesterday was basically construction equipment that you probably use when you're digging up the house for
Right, and those-
foundation work.
Those are usually stored on like a trailer. They're just temporary.
Yeah, and
Or
I
they're
saw
pulled
trailers
inside.
then too. So
Yeah.
that was what was backed up further north. Is that paved? It looked like, if you look at the current aerial, which would be, it had an extra driveway like going all the way to the property line. Just one width, maybe 10 feet wide, whatever it is.
Yeah, when we first
It
moved
goes
in,
all the way
yeah.
over to there.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, that wasn't there. Well, actually,
No, it-
I'm sorry, 2008, it wasn't there.
Okay.
It came about after 2008, so you wouldn't have had any affiliation with that.
No, that was there when I came in.
Yeah, and that goes right to the property line, though, I
It
think?
went to the neighbors. At one point, our neighbor to the north owned both buildings.
Oh, so they had traffic going through,
Yeah.
that's why, then. Yeah. I don't remember that, so,
That's what my neighbor told me.
yeah. So is that remaining? Because I didn't.
Yes.
Okay, because it's hard to tell from your submittal, the extra that's going that way. Right now, you're showing parking going almost to the north property line,
Correct.
and it was kind of deceiving, because where you have just those short parking spots, there was stacked parking all the way. There was like a trailer, a truck, and maybe a car, and then they were backed up against each other. So it looks like you don't have enough parking spots, but you're talking about adding onto the other side is what the
Right,
whole
right, to
thing
make
is.
up for all, yes,
So will that make up for that?
yes.
And give you easy parking and access? Because it's got to be crazy for you now to remove, somebody's got to go move one to get to the other, right? It's probably nuts there.
Yeah,
So that's then will be addressed basically, and it'll look more sane, just for sake of a better word, I guess. But it'll look much better. The only thing, you're in an IR district, that's industrial restricted, which doesn't allow outdoor storage without special land use approval. And this equipment being outside goes against that we can't approve that on a site plan even,
okay,
because it needs special land use for outside storage. So as construction equipment, it's supposed to be inside of a garage.
okay.
There's some things, like if you put a fence across the front area, now, that would be something you would propose to us as a fence. I can't tell you what to do or anything, but by the ordinance, outside materials are supposed to be fenced in. Outdoor storage, not talking vehicles, I'm talking outdoor storage, is supposed to be fenced in.
We have that on our plans.
So that will be fenced in. I see you got the gates now. On here, you got gates. Right now, you don't have gates on the front of those.
Correct, yes.
So that'll take care of that, so it's not so viewable. That's what I see first thing, is that it just doesn't look good. If you were in the industrial complex, it'd be different, because everybody's industrial there. Here, you got the school, you got homeowners living right down the street, and the first thing I know, the city, just being here for so long and being part of code enforcement and everything, the biggest complaints that come as people go by, they right away call the building department and say, hey, how's this guy got this stuff? You can't have that mess out there and stuff like that. So the big thing is, your type of business, I understand completely. I inspect it all the time. But you have to do the best to hide that then.
I understand, we're gonna do that.
So I guess that's what we need to see on here. The other thing, and while I'm at it, I hate to jump
No,
around.
go
if
ahead.
That's okay. But the approach is what I was talking about, because without knowing if that's a county road, county might not even give you an approach there. I don't know if anybody has studied that or checked.
It is a city road, I
It's
just.
city
checked.
roads, so the city can give you that.
Yes, it is a city road.
What I worry about, because that, you're right next to that easement that was designed way long time ago to put a road right through over the Sweeney Drain
You're talking about on the south side of the,
on your south side.
yes,
yeah.
okay.
But you're far enough away from that.
Yep.
And I don't think they would give you a promise. You haven't an approach that close. Here's, the biggest problem is if that road was ever constructed, now your approach might be too close.
Well, that's
So
why
that's-
on the plans, you'll see that my approach is to the left of.
Yeah, I think it, when I kind of went out to try to get an idea and looking at your plan, I think it looked like it's going to be close enough to the building now. So it should be far enough away,
Yep.
looking at, see, you don't show, I've got an aerial that shows it all the way to that easement. And it looks like you got, well, I could tell you exactly what it is. It's 28 and 20, 47, 48 feet, probably 50 feet to the building from the easement line, the end of your property. So the building's 50 feet, it looks like, from the property line. And you're going, how wide is this parking lot now? 40, so you'd be 10, oh, there you show it right on your plan, 10 feet. So you got a 10-foot area there. So in the easement, and actually the approach goes farther, so hopefully it'd be okay. That's, some of those things we can't approve, and hopefully it's an approvable, especially the city. If it's a city road, chances are you're not going to have a problem approving it, but I worry about county ones, because county isn't so giving. But that's good that it's a city road, so we'll be good. I think, and it can always be a temporary thing, that if they did put a road through in there and you're too close, you could put a road there, you could put an entrance off that road.
Right,
So there's always a fallback.
yeah.
So I don't see a problem with that part.
Okay.
I think we'll be okay.
Okay, good. Thank you, Ms. Warren, for determining that. Commissioner Farina?
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hi, I missed you guys.
I'm gonna start with, how many employees do you have now?
24 in production, I believe, and 6 salesmen, so 30 of us.
I didn't hear you, Mr. Mark.
30 total,
30?
yes.
And the last time you were here, you told us you had 21 employees.
Or Mr. Cadman
We
did?
might have grown a little bit, yeah.
Growing.
And you didn't have enough parking with 21. Do you think?
And the guy's carpool now. And the salesmen, so 7 of those positions, 6 or 7, I can't remember, but they have their own vehicles, they go home. They don't come to work every day. They're the salesmen.
So the 24 compares to the 21 is what you're saying? Okay. All right, let's start where you got all the gravel. It's not up there anymore.
Can you put the site plan up? Thank
On
you.
the shaded portion there. Okay, that's going to all be concreted?
So originally, we had plans, and there was gravel that was put down over there.
Yes, I saw it.
And part of the original plans was get rid of that gravel, restore it back to grass. And then what happened is a lot of that gravel started washing out while we were still in the permit process. So when I asphalted it, we're a construction company, so it's very easy for me to put asphalt down, pick it up, do whatever I want. With the grass, I can put it back however I want, or however you want me to. So we just asphalted it all because it was running off, it was making a mess and mud and everything. It looks nice, and we'll fix it right. So these plans show us restoring it back to grass and putting the trees back. What I'll be asking tomorrow is a variance on how far on the setback is for that, how much I have to remove. So right now, it says 63 feet from the center line of the road is where the parking lot's supposed to end. I'm asking tomorrow for 52 feet. So that's what I'm going in front of the board for tomorrow. The remaining amount will be restored back to grass, and then the trees will be put.
Okay. How is the traffic going to flow in and out of this parking area?
Should be fine. There's plenty of room in the middle of this whole parking area. I've never had any problems. There's never usually more than 2, 3 cars leaving maybe at once.
This is going to be all concrete
Asphalt,
asphalt,
asphalt.
okay? How's it gonna drain?
Well, right now it's got a natural pitch back towards the swing. And then, in the front part of this pitch, it just pitches over to the grass area, from left to right as looking in the plans. There was no previous drainage on this property.
Right, okay.
If you're looking at the drain, or the plans, to the grass on the right.
Isn't that gonna be a lot of water to bring over into your neighbor's property?
I
Doesn't
mean,
go
we
towards the
haven't really
neighbor.
had any problems with it. On the right side of the plans, we plan on just having natural pitch over to the grass area.
Okay, because of the engineer's comments that you might have to have an erosion study and a permit.
Yeah, most of the time, they just want like a silt fence up while you're doing the construction.
Did you get a copy of the city engineer's comments? Okay. That's a final site plan approval, though.
Yeah.
Just as long as you understand what might be required when you go through final.
Sure.
Okay. Going to the left, where your gravel bins are now, the gravel bin, wasn't that supposed to be a higher enclosure a year ago?
Higher enclosure?
Wasn't it supposed to add another layer onto that enclosure? It's 2 block high now.
Right.
Which would be 4 feet, correct?
No. Not when I stood next to it.
Yeah, each one of those bin blocks are 2 feet tall. There's 2 everywhere right now.
Okay, yeah,
But it does say in the plans to add one more to make it 6 feet.
right.
So I wasn't aware of that last time, but I am aware of that now. That's what we need to do.
Okay, why haven't you done it in the last year? Why haven't you done any of the site plan in the last year?
I don't have a good answer for you on that.
Okay, the center of this area in front of the gravel and your dumpster bin then, your trash bin,
Yes.
that's not concrete. I was on it yesterday and it's just looks like hard pack to me.
Which area are you talking about?
Here's your gravel bin and here's your garbage, right in here.
Yeah, that area is existing asphalt.
Yeah, it sure didn't look like it.
It's
No
asphalt.
pitch to it, it's, yeah.
It's all original.
It's not in the best shape.
Are you gonna redo it?
Eventually, yes. I gotta take care of this first, though. This has been a long time coming.
Okay. Going to the far left corner where it says exterior concrete, you have all broken concrete in there.
Yes, that's gotta be removed.
Well, how's it, how are you gonna keep it out? Why is it there now?
It's just temporary from a job that we did. We stored it over there.
Okay. And the temporary parking thing that you have up,
Oh, yes. That was to keep guys from driving on the grass.
okay?
That will be coming down once I redo all the landscaping right there.
Or what are you gonna put there?
Just grass and trees. On the site, what the site plan shows is what I'll be doing there.
Isn't there gonna be a curbing there?
No curbing.
Okay. And that, is this the distance you want the variance, the new variance to be from center of the road?
No,
Where
it's,
that-
it still has to go back at least another, probably at least 25 feet of that asphalt's got to come out. If the
Okay.
zoning board approves 12 less feet. Otherwise, we need like 30 or 35 more feet taken out if they don't approve me tomorrow. So a lot of that asphalt has to come out and grass restored.
Okay. Because I measured it yesterday, and it's not what you're asking for, and you're gonna come see ZBA tomorrow.
We don't want to keep coming seeing you all the time to get this done. See how our problem lies is if you look at our property line, we have to pack a lot of our daily operations into 2/3 of our property. There's 56 feet that is completely unusable because of the Sweeney drain. And that's why if that was all just flat land, we would not even be here. It'd be room for everybody.
Parking in the
You know,
back.
so that's kind of why we have to encroach a little. Does that make sense? And I believe, maybe you don't remember when I was here before in front of you guys talking about all this stuff. A lot of the same things are coming up here that I believe we've already addressed, and we're down to the final few things that just need to be taken care of, you know, like these recommendations of eliminating the parking agreement, dimensions on the loading area. I thought we were coming for that. It seems like we're revisiting the entire project when we've already discussed all these other items.
Well, that's because of the extra things now. By running the business, you've got equipment outside that's not supposed to be there. So things have come about as a result of the day-to-day operations now. What do you use the interior of the building for?
Just supplies,
Supplies,
some
equipment,
vehicles.
trucks, everything, yeah. It's full.
A lot of the problem with storing our Q vans outside is break-ins and people stealing Cadillac converters every time.
That's
start
everywhere,
it
and in
off.
our own driveways.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. But yes, like Dave was saying, one-third of the property is a Sweeney drain, and otherwise we'd be doing a lot of this work and parking lot and everything in the back of the building.
So we have to utilize the two sides that we have accessible and with the
But-
plans depict.
But that I will bring up, I don't know if I'm talking to the same people I'll be talking to tomorrow, but.
Almost.
Yeah, one of them, okay. And, yeah, I got some stuff to talk about with that and some of the paperwork, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
I don't know if it's our place to design the thing for you. You come to us. But my first reaction to make things acceptable to us more would be an enclosure-type operation on the one side to allow I know what equipment you have to have. And there's no easy way around it. You need that equipment to run your business. The problem is what it does and changes the frontage, what it looks like outside. We want a nice look, and we want you successful. And me knowing the equipment you have to have, we got to figure out a way that's acceptable to all of us and still stop the public from complaining about it. We're trying to head things off ahead of time.
Right.
Where sometimes you find out later and then, oh, well, we can't do that. They didn't approve us for that. So we're trying to get it now. So I really think, my feeling is that you come back with a better plan showing how you can achieve the things we know now from you being there. Now we know what needs to be corrected to make it acceptable more, and we have a nice-looking business in town, too. And we know the type of operation is a dirty business, no matter what. I see it all the time. I know exactly what you do. I know what you're going through, and it's just that you picked a location that really needs to look good all the time.
Well, if you want to go into phase two, is basically the parking area where you see the equipment and the back storage area you see, the top left corner of these plans. It would be nice to build an outside storage like a garage. That would be part two, but I got to get part one done, and this is taking a long time. I know that falls on me a lot, but I want to get this done, and then that's the next step I want to.
That's why I think the thing of a fence, where usually we don't want fences, or we want fences that are going to be around for a long time and look good. And that's the biggest problem we have going up against us all the time with site plan review and fences, because some of them might look good when you first get them up, but within a year they look lousy, because people want to put the vinyl slats through them, or they want, the webbing and things that just do not last. And nobody's out there babysitting all the time to say, hey, this isn't lasting, you guys got to fix this. Oh, well, we're too busy, or whatever, we want to get it right now. So if it takes that, we know the expense of a new building, but we know the fence issue could be solved at a lot cheaper price than a new building.
Yeah.
So
I
if
also
that's
have
what
a-
it takes,
Yeah, I have a citation from,
So you're
Bob, I
suggesting
think.
screening.
some type of screening
Type of
to,
screening and the landscaping plans, the trees, the bushes aren't,
yeah, what you're trying to, I know the landscape plan. Landscape plan, is going to look nice if it's according to the way you got it here.
yeah. We're hoping that would have been.
That will be partial screening. but
It's
I think
partial
It
screening.
will screen,
It will screen.
yeah.
so are you
And
talking about
it's-
like
it comes back
arborvitae's
to
in
the
front?
ordinance. If you go get a copy of the zoning ordinance for IR, you'll see that you can't even do some of these things that you're doing. We know things change, and that's why we have a zoning board, to present to them things that you need a variance for maybe, and they can look at more current times or different things that might make something more acceptable that wasn't acceptable 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago when these things were written. So my suggestion is to look at that. That's just me. I don't know how this board feels about that. My thing is I want to see a nice looking place. I don't want to see it full of, coming in with equipment that's leaking hydraulic fluids and, things like that. You know what I mean, because you got machinery on those jobs all the time that breaks down and stuff, and you're trying to keep the same equipment. You can't go buying new equipment every
So,
year.
no, we are very strict on our maintenance schedules. It's run like a military base. I mean, we don't have stuff leaking everywhere, and I think that's an assumption. We don't have crappy equipment.
Yeah, it's usually leaking on the job. It's because you can't help it sometimes, but,
Yeah.
and yeah, here it becomes to maintenance, but
I understand.
type of equipment that it is what I'm getting at, and what it looks like. You're pulling out, I pulled out, I went into the school parking lot and tried to picture it as somebody coming out of that parking lot, and I go, oh my God, they must think this place, how did we approve this place, with that? Because we see that kind of equipment, and it's right in here that it's not allowed without special land use. So if it can be screened, I mean, we could look at things maybe a little different.
Yeah.
I'm just one out of all of
Yeah,
us.
thank you for that.
So it's up to how the rest of the board feels. I'm just letting you know how I feel about it.
I agree with Commissioner Warnick. I visited the site, and it was just not very pleasing to look at, I'll be honest with you. So show me where with the screening and the landscaping, where your cars or your vehicles or construction equipment is going to be right behind the trees?
Yes.
Yes, and they still would be seen by the road. Okay. And you had a citation from the city? Is
Yes.
that correct?
And I had to go to court, I think it was a little over a month ago, and they pushed it till next Tuesday. Well, and the
What
only
were
reason
you
why
s-
they pushed it back is because I said, hey, I'm still waiting on engineering. Once I get my engineering done, then I gotta submit the plans at least 3 weeks before this meeting. So I said, the next meeting I'll get onto is today. So,
What were you cited for? What was it?
the violation of code,
For
for all this.
the vehicles? Okay.
So, and then they want to see that satisfied, and then they put a time crunch on that, and usually it's 30 days, and I'm going to ask for 90. So whenever we do get all this approved, it's not going to be a 6-month permit, it's going to be a 90-day permit for me, because I got that on the back end. So I do have to
But you're
come up
still
with
not meeting,
plans and-
you're still not meeting the zoning ordinance, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they are still not meeting the zoning.
The
ordinance.
courts will at least look at, though, that if it's in the process,
Right.
they'll give you as much time as you need if you're in this process of what's happening here.
Do I
So
understand?
you got to show that. You
Yeah.
can't go set it aside and say, well, I'm going to get it in 30 days, or I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It really needs to show that you're continuing. You got to show an effort. And that, I'm sure, in court, that goes a long way, that you're doing something. We just want to see compliance, and not the ones that avoid compliance. And that's the problem with a lot of companies that start, because especially you get busy, you don't have the guys to do all this stuff, and you're all making money, but if you don't have enough money to start hiring people, there's all kind of things. It's how successful you are, and I've seen your line of work get very successful and make a lot of money and dress their places up to make them look like dynamite. They change the whole frontages of them to make them look, classy and everything. But it takes time for that. I know you're working at. That's what you want. I'm sure that's what you want.
I think if I follow these plans and do everything that these plans say I'm gonna do, I would think I'm one of the best looking buildings on that street. That's my opinion.
Where do we want to go? Other comments, Commissioner Farina?
Alicia? Randy just made a statement that they have to have a fence and enclosure. Is that right?
I can jump in. So upon my review of the IR district, that fence is required for the outside storage that's actually allowed under the district, which would be limited to licensed and operable cars, trucks, and recreation vehicles, finished and semi-finished manufactured materials, produced on the premises, and equipment necessary as an accessory to the principal use. And it provides that a chain link fence or masonry wall not less than 4 feet in height, nor more than 8 feet shall enclose the storage area. That is one of the conditions.
So that really wouldn't include the heavy-duty construction.
I can't speak for what the applicant is actually storing outside. If it fits in one of these boxes that's permitted as an accessory outdoor storage use, then they would have to comply with those requirements. But if it doesn't, then it would not be permitted, so they would therefore need a variance, the way that I read this.
Did you look under what's allowed under special land use?
So that would be permitted, let's see here, special land use, they allow automobile, heavy repair garage, outdoor storage, planned unit development, public utility buildings, various retail uses. So the outdoor storage, let's see here, takes me to a link, which is not very helpful right now. Let's see here. I'm sorry. It doesn't take you to the right one.
Alyssa, the first one you read there fit us to a T.
Okay.
So what that's saying is you need this fenced in, and I don't see a fence here.
We'll need a screen.
Yeah.
Screening or fence, is there a difference in your guys' eyes?
So there's 4 requirements. I would just point the applicant to the zoning ordinance. It's probably easier. But there is 4 requirements for outside storage that's customarily incidental to one of the permitted uses. If you, like you mentioned, if you fit, the box for the permissible outdoor storage, those requirements would need to be met.
Great, that sounds like a wall or a fence.
You'll meet the materials. Materials are part of your work.
Yeah,
So the materials aren't an issue because of what you're going to do. When you put the gates on them, those gates are they're site obscuring.
Yes,
Yes.
it's not gonna be a chain.
You won't see,
Wood slatted or, something you can see through.
so that's, if you go to this section, if you want to write it down, it's 32-143, subsection L. And if you look at that, it'll show what's allowed.
We have our depiction of type of gate to the
Yeah.
front. It says
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thumbs up on
corrugated
that.
galvanized.
It's gonna look
steel gate
good.
with
Yeah.
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 That's very nice looking.
And that's the allowable stuff. It's the non-allowable stuff that we're working.
Well, I mean, the excavators can be parked inside, that's easy, and then we're done with that.
Is there, and I know, Frank, you brought it up before, is there area behind the
No.
building?
There's
There-
about
there
3
would be.
feet.
Yeah, some of those buildings had a fenced-in area for storage going down the drain. But you gotta be on your own property for one thing, and you gotta be so far from the drain, they won't even allow something that has a chance of leaking oil
Yeah.
or something, they won't, because that's environmental.
Commissioner Farina?
I asked my question. I really don't know where this leaves us, you know?
I'm not sure myself. I'm
Well,
confused.
I mean, like I said, the notes that I read that were prepared for me before I came here was, hey, we're addressing the loading area, the dimensions aren't there. We're addressing the size of the storage container, which is not on the plans. And then these are the new plans. And then there was a couple people in the reports that said they didn't see a problem with it. And then the next step is to go to the variance tomorrow night to talk about parking, revisit the structures that are enclosed in the gravel. And then I would assume, yay or nay tomorrow, I schedule myself next month with the revised plans, and then we would hopefully be happy
That's in
together.
the perfect world if we didn't see the site now and the equipment you have there.
Okay.
I think that's the hangup, because
That's
we
the hang-
did
is that
the site visits.
We
and
go to
see-
visit the site and then see it like it is, and it's just the way it's gonna be, and I'm.
And that's
guessing
our
it's
role,
gotta
so
be.
that's what we need to
You need that
address.
equipment.
Yes.
That's part of your operations.
Correct.
It's a-
Now, if you had a yard where you stored it outside, there's plenty of yards that you could store that kind of equipment, and your guys go there and pick it up, and then go to the job.
Or
But then again, that's another expense, too.
what about this new proposed parking area being screened?
That's what I think it would come to special land use. We'd have to approve it. Would it be, does it need special land use for that? We don't know because of these subsections here that we don't.
Well, let me ask you this, sir. For these plans and getting this done, there's 3 machines that park overnight outside. They can be put inside. And then it's no longer relevant to get these done.
Right.
And then I
That's
can.
what they say right in here, if they're parked inside, you're okay.
Okay. And then we can worry about screening and coming back and building other structures once I get this done. Yeah, okay.
As far as I'm concerned, that's gonna look great. The way you got the bins for everything, and as soon as you put those gates on, then you're good. Because now we have it's gonna look good.
What
As long
about-
as the guys don't leave them open all the time.
What about this wall that goes around this parking area? Right now, it's only 4 feet tall, and it says in the ordinance it can go 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
If it went 8 feet tall, it would screen everything. That's something I can do tomorrow.
Is this all, that whole wall, is that all those blocks?
Bunker bit.
Retaining,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I can do that, no problem.
I
right
don't know if
away.
they're all aware, but they're giant Legos.
Just kind of,
If you're okay with that, then the next time you make a site visit, you're gonna see that it's
Right.
much taller and you can't see the.
and you
machines.
can't
But
see
we do
the
have to
equipment.
approve that, too.
I'm sorry, what?
We do have to make that part of our approval process.
On a site plan, though,
Yeah.
right? And
So
then,
you want, because I know they're gonna have to be revised, right? After going to the meeting tomorrow, they're gonna need,
you will be coming back in front of us, yeah, with the revised plan.
right, next month.
Right.
So you want me to make that part of that this wall needs to be 8 feet tall? Because that would definitely block anything.
I'm going to check with our attorney. I don't know if she wants to comment or not. I can see you over there. You no comments?
No, I was just going to mention that the height requirement that's in the zoning ordinance is is required for the permissible accessory uses. So my understanding is that the wall that we're talking about is for the gravel storage area. Is that what I'm trying to gather?
No.
They're blocking the parking lot with it. They kept it going around.
Oh, okay.
Dump trucks.
Right.
With excavators on them, and this is the bunker blocks that are 4 feet tall.
Right.
If it was made 8 feet tall, you wouldn't see.
Mr. Marth, would you grab the microphone so we can get you on our
You want me to repeat
video?
that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is the area where the excavators and dump trucks are parked, 3 of them. And in the trailer are the excavators, and this is the bunker wall that's around it, that's 4 feet tall right now. 2 more layers would make it 8 feet tall, and it would block that equipment, and you would not be able to see it.
And is that the only equipment we're concerned about?
That's the only stuff that's parked outside.
Okay.
The only thing that worries me is how we look at a fence and using those doesn't meet this 4 to 8 feet. I don't know that we call that a fence, and that's what I would need an interpretation to figure that out.
You can have a masonry wall as well.
You can, yeah.
It's a chain link fence or
These,
masonry
you see,
wall.
though, you know, they're 2-foot thick masonry walls. I mean, they use up a lot of their property to get that width, but you start going 8 feet high, it'll look like a building. Now, you can only put a building on so many square feet of the property. This is just a technical thing that I never had to experience before, so
Well,
I'm just thinking of it as a fence. Can we
building?
still call it a fence?
I would think so.
Screening.
8 foot high is what I'm worried about,
Well, I know what you're talking about.
you know what I mean?
I think 6 foot high and
6 foot
a
would be-
short fence put up on there, something decorative. I forget what they call
I'm
it.
just worried that height
It is pretty tall,
is real tall.
so,
So I'm
Commissioner
just thinking
Toller.
about it that way.
yeah. I think it
Almost
would be
like a building.
safer.
It actually, for the weight you're putting on it, probably needs a footing then.
Oh, dear, dear.
I know, well, that's what scares me.
You're going with
I know, I'm not trying to do the,
I also want to mention that these standards in the zoning ordinance for the permissible accessory outdoor storage, the first condition is that it cannot be located within 100 feet from any street line. Without looking at specific dimensions on here, I don't know if that requirement is met, but I do think that that's something
That we need.
that everyone should be aware of. If the item that is going to be stored outside is considered a permissible accessory use, obviously, that's why I would point the applicant to those main standards to
and I-
ensure the compliance.
just to give you an idea, that whole lot line is 185 feet on the left. So 100 feet is 2/3 of that, or, yeah, about 2/3 almost, a little less than 2/3. So it is within the 100 feet.
So not permissible.
So that would be another variance, yeah. And Madam Chair, if I may ask the
Yes,
applicant
please.
just one clarifying question in looking at
Please.
previous plans and these plans. I looked at the one from 2022, and I saw that there was only one gravel storage area. And then this one, I believe there's 2.
That's what the plan says, correct,
Okay,
Mr. Marth? Yes.
so that has changed since 2022.
correct.
Okay.
2 are dumpsters, right?
Any more comments?
No, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
Gravel storage, 2 dumpsters. This is just temporary storage. Sometimes
What do you mean by
there's
temporary?
gravel in there, sometimes there's nothing in there, sometimes there's a couple pallets.
How long does the temporary stay there?
Week?
Right now, there's broken concrete in there and pallets.
That has to get cycled all the time. Part of their job is they go take
Comes in
it
and
out,
Out
Yeah.
as quick as possible.
and that job has to bring, and they put it there, because that's the job, the guy's coming back from doing the job. And then, I'm sure you're not gonna, because you're gonna have another job that's gonna need a holding, it's a holding area, is what it is.
Guys come back, they unload their trucks the next day, or 2 days, 3 days later, it's picked up, it's moved out, it's cleaned
And that's
out.
why you need the backhoe.
It's more storage, it's not just gravel storage. Right now, I know there's broken concrete in there, but that's not the normal use. Now, the bin on the right of the dumpsters, that is gravel storage.
Correct.
That's the only thing that goes there,
Right.
yeah.
But both sides are going to have your fence.
Fence, yeah.
Right.
And the one on the left, you would never even see from the street because it's facing towards the building, but it's still getting the same parameters as the gravel storage.
Right, okay. Okay. And Commissioner Tuller, did you want to say something? No, okay.
So essentially, there'll be 2 levels of screening. There'll be the first level, which is the trees and the bushes, and then we can raise that, whatever the material may be, whether it be fencing material or block or those barricades. It'll be blocked off two areas as you drive by and look into the property.
We're not acting on anything today anyway until after zoning, right? Am I correct? They got to come back next month.
That's correct. They will be going in front of the zoning board of appeals tomorrow evening and then coming back with the revised plan.
So I would say look into, just now look at, you know what we're looking at. Maybe
You're
toss
look-
some things
You're looking at
around.
the stuff that has changed since the last time you've seen it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You can always work with our city planner also to try to work something out. You know,
Trying to whittle the recommendations down, not add to them.
yeah. And Commissioner
Time we come,
Farina,
we add more recommendations. Trying to pour a parking lot.
Commissioner Farina, do your actions tomorrow for the variances, does it involve any of the site plan issues that you would want resolved before they go in front of the zoning board of appeals? And you don't have to answer it, that would be my question, just at the top of my head.
They want to come to zoning, you can't tell them not to come. to
Right,
zoning.
I agree with you there, so yeah. So,
What is that loading area on the new side, the other side?
That was one of the requirements we had to meet. Applicant must provide loading space and sizing on the site
The
plan.
dimensions of it, yes, right, yeah.
So it's
That's a-
clear.
that's
It's not
just a-
parking or anything.
No.
No, that's our designated loading and unloading area.
And the whole purpose of this parking lot on the right side is so that the trucks can go through the building and have more people come out the right or the left, and it's just easier flow of traffic as well. And again, I stress, the reason why this is so tight and so hard is because a third of the property is heating up by the drain.
I agree.
Yeah. It's-
You want, you want.
But I do want to make this look nice.
Yeah.
I want to do it right, and I want you guys' approval.
You want us to
So
be happy, right? We want you to be happy.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Yes, agree.
Happy life, happy wife.
We want to see you successful.
Yes, and we want you to stay, so we don't want you to go anywhere else.
You know, you can get more property by going to smaller concrete blocks than 2 feet, you know, I mean,
It's a drop in the bucket.
yeah, but, I mean, on a tight site, you know, that's your call.
Well, those are prefabricated, and those are designed to hold the weight from like stone and everything. I just gotta spruce them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you get enough direction from us then to go in front of the ZBA and then come back with revised plan, or?
Yeah, but, I mean, as far as I understand, I need to get the dimensions for the loading, dimensions for the storage bins. I need to go to the zoning board of appeals to talk about the approach area of the parking lot, and I think show them the designs, the fences, and the covers of the gravel areas. Those are the stipulations on that. And then the other thing is I don't need, I think the fourth thing out of four things was a parking agreement with my neighbor that was recorded in a recordable form. I don't need that anymore with this new plans. So that should go away, and I believe I bring that up tomorrow.
Correct, that's under the ZBA, yes. But I didn't hear you trying to address your screening of the vehicles. Will you be coming back and trying to address that with us somehow?
Yes. I
Okay.
will.
Okay.
I got a month to work on that.
But if we were to park
You park them inside.
them inside, we could park the box trucks outside, that's allowable. Or didn't you say that the machinery, the equipment would be allowable?
So the ordinance allows accessory uses and accessory outside storage customarily incidental to your permitted use. That's limited to currently licensed and operable cars, trucks, and recreation vehicles, finished and semi-finished manufactured materials produced on the premises, and equipment necessary as an accessory to the principal use, with the four conditions complied with,
That
which is.
equipment is pertinent to our everyday use. that
So-
would fall.
So you would have to comply with all the requirements that are in the zoning ordinance, which, as I mentioned, I don't know in looking at your plan if the 100 feet is met there.
Yep.
That would obviously have to go through administration and be noted on your plan so we can ensure compliance. Because if not, that may be something that would need a variance depending on,
Or since they're like Legos, we could just rearrange them and put them 100 feet back.
Yes.
I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Just do some rearranging and make sure we comply with that 100 feet. No
One
variance.
extra Legos, you can come to my house.
Yeah, they're huge, like, you need
I
a,
got boxes of them too.
I'll have to measure. It's gonna be
Yeah,
close.
it's close.
Because
It's-
it's, the property line, the 185 is to the, the easement, yes, not to the street. I'll have to measure. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, next month, hey, guys, they're all parked inside. That's worst case.
Right, the
we
only
got the
thing-
direction.
Just also watch, because the fire official, with parking things that have gas in it inside, could create problems.
Then I got nowhere to park it
I know, I'm just saying what could come up if they do their yearly
said-
inspections. And
They said,
They said everything was okay on their review,
Yeah, we did
Yeah,
that.
they did.
but that
Yeah, but
was-
were you parking inside?
Right, they were not parking inside at that point.
So I'm just trying to cover all your bases. If that, I mean, if this can work out somehow where I understand. You gotta watch when it says equipment here, that didn't include heavy equipment. That meant equipment to run your business like smaller equipment.
A wheelbarrow, not a locomotive, right? A wheelbarrow, yeah. Right?
A question, excuse me, our question for our attorney, do we need a motion to postpone this item?
Yes, if it is the intent of the commission to postpone it and bring it back following ZBA action, based on the fact that two variances or a modification of a variance is being sought tomorrow, and a front yard setback variance is being sought tomorrow, my recommendation would be, in case something comes up where there's maybe additional variances that are needed, just based on potential discussions this evening, my recommendation would not be to postpone it to a date certain, but rather at the next regularly scheduled meeting following ZBA action. That way, administration could bring it back whenever ZBA takes action on those required variances.
Okay, okay.
We just wanna give you enough time, if you're going to court on a ticket already,
Yeah.
that,
The court will give you time.
yeah.
Yes, because you're working on it.
All right.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to postpone the item with the, I guess, postponing it to follow the ZBA action? A date uncertain at this point?
Yeah, to the next regularly scheduled meeting after ZBA action. That would be good.
Regularly scheduled meeting after ZBA action. I can move that. So,
I'll second.
okay, so let's do it officially. Let's postpone site plan number 24-01, 34-400, Klein Road Foundation Solutions 360, site plan review with the condition that the applicant comes back at the next regularly scheduled meeting after the ZBA action. And is that good enough? And support by, so it's moved by myself and support by Commissioner Farina. Ms. Greenia, would you do a roll call, please?
Commissioner Barr,
Yes.
Chair Zarnicki,
Yes.
Commissioner Farina,
Yes.
Commissioner Kyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Tuller,
Yes.
Commissioner Warnick.
Yes.
Thank you both.
That was fun.
You were just waiting to come back. At least you brought company this time.
Sure, why not?
You guys have a date for the next planning?
I do. Give me a moment here to pull. I've got too many documents.
May 1st.
May 1, and should you go after that, it would be
June
June
5th.
5, yeah.
And do you know when everything needs to be in or submitted for the
That
next?
part,
reg-
Ms.
usually-
Warren can help you with that.
May 1st.
Yesterday.
No, well, I'm saying, like, let's say I have a revised plans, when do you need them before the next meeting? Like, I get these revised, like, 2 weeks prior to the date?
For the next planning commission meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, we usually would give about 30 days window, just so everyone can review.
Okay,
So
Can we-
May 1
yeah.
might be kind of tight.
Yeah.
yeah.
How flexible are you to accept
I mean, we only get them a week before.
a marked up
There's
plan?
not too many changes.
Yeah, because you got to pay again for another,
I would try to get them back to you by the end of next week, following tomorrow's meeting.
Alicia?
Your button.
Would you accept a marked up plan, like he said?
Yeah,
I'm a draftsman. I can draw on top of that and just.
Saves you the fees from an
Would
engineer.
you guys accept that? It would be crystal
Architect.
clear. It's almost there. You would?
When you do that, Mr. Cadman, would you mark the parking spots with the numbers? Because I couldn't see all the numbers. I was confused how many parking spots you had.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
And make the change evident, whether it's clouded or maybe a different, if you go a different color, we know that that is new.
Yeah, I can do it in red, green.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way you'll see the.
Just makes our job easier, too.
That's great news. Thank you for that.
Just know maybe by final plans, we may have to get those solidified.
Right. But every time you need to make a little change, you gotta go back to the
Right.
engineer.
Let's get it to where it's
Yeah, we gotta
approved.
Pay $2,000, keep, and if I can get everything drawn out, prove it, then we can submit it for one final revision.
I like seeing you put the money into getting these things.
This has been $20,000 without starting anything, so.
I'll double check that you can have just the markups on it. I
Yeah,
don't
that, I mean,
that, and then for now, go ahead, but I'll make sure that we don't have to have them actually recorded on a final
Okay.
with the engineer.
Just a question that might be something that, if anybody's watching or knows, where'd the 360 come from? The degrees
So-
of a circle or,
Just all encompassing, and it's part of marketing, because everyone's got a name, but nobody's got numbers in their name, and we take care of everything, full service around your entire home, 360.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you both.
Guys.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Yes. We go to agenda item 8, public communication on non-agenda items. There are none. Agenda item 9, monthly report, March 2024. It's confusing me there. Was there any,
There's some updates in there.
well, we skipped 7, so yeah, just delete that, but yeah, 8. My monthly report. What did you say, Commissioner Farina? I'm sorry.
There are updates. You gonna go over, Alicia?
I can.
Yeah.
I can. I'm just going to be going over what's highlighted. Again, I'm filling in, so I haven't been on the back end. So it looks like there is an update. Oh, that's hockey land. Special land use modification approved at the March 6th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. There might be updates on
What is SLU modification?
that. Special land use modifications, do you know about those?
Yeah, it was last month.
Has their temporary been extended again?
So the temporary certificate of occupancy was extended by the city manager. There are, let's see, 4 documents that were provided to us. 2 of them are currently being reviewed by the city engineer. The other 2 are in acceptable form to us, and they just need to be recorded. So it's just kind of doing the final engineering approvals that we're waiting on.
So who puts them up for approval? You or them?
What do you mean?
Who sends them to the county for approval?
It would be through engineering.
Oh, approval through engineering.
Yeah, so the last few documents are definitely out of my wheelhouse, so I sent them to the people that actually know what they're talking about.
And those are the only outstanding items that we're waiting for?
That is correct. We received the signed declaration, which is essentially a fancy way of giving an easement to yourself, for the northern parking lot
Okay.
and the main parcel. So that was executed and returned to us. That just needs to be recorded. And then also the cross-access and shared parking between Big Boy and Hockey Land. That was executed and provided to us. It just needs to be recorded.
and the drive-through won't
Correct. The drive-through is still,
go full CFO?
correct, yes. So the drive-through is still not permitted, even though obviously the commission modified those conditions for the special approval land use. But that cannot be in use until 5 CBO.
Until final, is that what?
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Okay. And, go ahead.
16659, Sweet B.
Yep, Schatz Market, I believe that was a use variance. It looks like they postponed due to lack of members necessary to approve.
It was somebody had
That
an
would-
emergency and we were you need 5 members to vote. Special land use, and we only had 4 members. which is
Okay.
quorum, but-
Okay. And then 3440 Klein, that is who was here today. They will be at tomorrow's meeting to request their variances. And then 31253 Utica Road, Sunbelt Rentals. They were supposed to be on the meeting tomorrow. We did receive a email this afternoon that they are asking to be postponed. We are still going to recommend to do the public hearing, just to get that out of the way since it was noticed. But they did request to be postponed.
Are they doing an addition?
Yes.
Because they bought that other property?
Yeah, so I.
Yeah.
They still have to come back with the variance.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Just a typo on the Klein property. It says the date. It says April 3, 2023, should be 2024.
Oh, 23, yeah, okay.
Any comments on the monthly report?
No.
Thank you for preparing that for us. Agenda item number 10, Zoning Board of Appeals Member Liaison Report.
Yes.
Commissioner Farina.
Last month, we had 2 applicants that we sent to city council and were approved, so we are full board again. We also had a special land use that we just talked about that did not go through, that's coming back tomorrow. And that was the extent of what we did. So I'm really happy, for both candidates, and I'm looking forward to working with those new people. So, thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Commissioner Farina. Agenda item 11, Commissioners' comments and items of interest and concern. Let's start with Commissioner Barr. You have anything you'd like to?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, Commissioner Warnick?
No, well, just to say how good that training session we had, it was a very good day.
Very good.
And everybody did a great job, and I think it's something we need to have every year at least. I think it was very informative.
I'm glad you liked it.
I like the tag team.
We tried.
Commissioner Kyle?
I'm all set.
Commissioner Farina?
First, thank you to both of you, your companies, for doing that. I thought it was very helpful. I was glad to see the new guys, all 3 of them, come to the training. I just want to say my, condolences to Lauren on the loss of her godmother. I hope everything's all right with her, and she's really tried hard. She reached out to me today, said, I'm really sorry, I think I should be with my family. I said, family's first, She's really trying hard. So I want to thank everybody for their support of St. Malachy's on the fish fries. We did a record number throughout Lent, and we're up like 400 meals from the year before, so it was good. So thank you, thanks the community. That's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Teller, first of all, welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you have
It-
any comments?
It was exciting to go through my first meeting. Excited to help out with all the rest of them, too.
You're going to make your first motion in a minute.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I
Ms.
tried a second, but you guys raced to it.
You have to be
See item
fast.
number 12?
I do.
You have to hold on.
Uh-huh.
Ms. Grenia, do you have any comments you'd like to share?
No, nothing, thank you.
You're welcome. And Ms. Warren?
I just wanted to say I was sorry to miss the training. I was really looking forward to it, but I unfortunately had a passing in my family, so I couldn't be there. But we'll get
We are
to that.
very sorry for your loss also. Yes, yes.
That's-
And Ms. Erickson?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you for working with me today.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so
That's what we're here for.
Okay. My only a few things. I did want to say thank you for the training session, too. It was a very good job, and we do thank you for all the hard work there. Welcome to Mr. Tuller. I didn't, when I talked to Ms. Sarah today, I didn't have the heart to ask her if she knew an update on Sheets. Do either of you know if Sheets will be in front of City Council?
I can't remember the last update that I gave you all in March, but we did receive a copy of a draft conditional rezoning agreement. I don't know if that's a new update. I apologize if I've already told you
Yeah, you
that.
did share that with us last time, so.
Okay, so a draft was received by our office. It's my understanding that Mr. Andrews is taking a look at it. But that's pretty much the extent.
Okay, so it's not scheduled for the upcoming City Council,
As far as I know, no.
because it would be a public hearing also, and
It's not going to be on the agenda.
We were told, you told us last time it was going to be in May.
I don't know if I
Wasn't
gave
it-
a specific date.
it wasn't a definite. And I think it was Ms. Sarah told us, so what is an indefinite, though?
Yeah, I haven't, me personally, I've not heard a specific date.
Okay, and I keep kind of looking, but I haven't either. Okay. And Commissioner Tuller, we're going to let you make your first motion.
All right. I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, any support for that?
Support.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Tuller and supported by Commissioner Kyle to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? That motion carries.
Your first motion, you got all ayes. Great job.
Get that here in a room.